Hi all, it's Jessica with the Houde School of Acting, and today we'll be talking Meisner. So I'm going to have two actors demonstrate a relationship in the Meisner technique, but before we do that, I want to briefly discuss the first few stages leading up to the relationship. Okay, so firstly we have repetition, which I've posted many videos, but I will explain what repetition is. Repetition is the first stage of the Meisner technique, and it's teaching us to listen and respond. Really be able to pinpoint the changes in your partner. Are they being kind? Are they uncomfortable? What's going on with them, and then how do you feel about it? Really live with them, be vulnerable with them, have an experience with them. Allow them to change you emotionally through saying the same thing. You have a black shirt? I have a black shirt. Keeping in mind it's not about what we're saying, it's about how we're saying it. Okay? Once I see that you are nice and simple and we're not trying to act, you have a black shirt, you have a black shirt, you have a black shirt. You know, we want to stay away from all those type of line readings, and we want to just focus on being, focusing on them, allowing them to change us. Once I see that, we'll move to what we call second stage repetition, or repetition with the point of view. Okay? Repetition with the point of view is now we are changing the repetition, but we're only changing it when we see an emotional change in your partner or you feel an emotional change because of your partner. So we really want to keep with emotional words, emotional language. You're frustrated. You're being kind. I'm uncomfortable. I'm confused. Really, we want to stick with that instead of, well, why are you annoyed? The why doesn't matter right now. The fact is they're annoyed. How do you feel about it? That's what we're working towards. Acknowledging they're annoyed. How does it make you feel? Uncomfortable? Irritated? Does it make you laugh? What's going on with them and how do we feel about it? So at the second stage, we are now changing the repetition, but when you see an emotional change, or you feel an emotional change. When we're moving forward to that next stage, which is the third stage, we're calling that an activity and a hover. When we do an activity and a hover, as you can see in this technique, everything really builds upon the stage prior to it. So first stage, listening and responding. Second stage, teaching you to pinpoint emotional changes. Third stage, we're going to teach you how to believe in an imaginary circumstance and now really train your ear to pick up on those changes. So we're no longer staring at our partner like this. We really have to listen to, are they being kind, condescending? What's going on with them while we're doing something? Now, when we talk about an activity, it has to revolve around three things. It should be physically difficult. Through that focus, we'll start to feel a lot emotionally, so we want it physically difficult through that doing. Then there should be the meaning, the why. Why am I doing this? This is so important. A lot of times we skip out on the why. We have to understand why we're doing it. Otherwise, there's that actor's faith in us that's like, okay, I might as well just do it because the acting teacher told me to do it. We have to have that why, so we believe in it. And then there needs to be a time constraint. So there needs to be physically difficult, meaning, the why, and a time constraint. We have limited time to get this done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to teach you to, through the doing, start to do that. We'll start to feel emotionally, but also allow our partner to change us emotionally, okay? Once we've learned how to do an activity and a hover, then we're going to move to what we call emotional preparation. So we'll teach you how to emotionally prepare. You will come in through what we call home alones, happiness, sadness, and anger. Those are the first few emotions that we're focusing on at this point. The goal with a home alone is to come home. It is exactly what it says, home alone. You're coming home and you're allowing yourself to fully express because you are home alone. No one's there. So we don't have to hold back at all. We're going to release and express as much as possible under the given imaginary circumstances, okay? From there, we're going to do what we call an activity indoor with emotional preparation. So now we're coming home from just experiencing something. We have to get an activity done. We have the emotional life when we walk in. We let it go. We allow the task to change us and our partner change us. And then we're going to move to what we're going to see in a moment, an activity indoor with a relationship. So these two are something to each other. They're no longer just classmates. They're either lovers, they're coworkers, they're boss and employee, they're neighbors, they're doctor, patient. They're going to have a relationship, and it is their job to have that behavior and to really live that out fully. And then so we should be able to tell who exactly they are to each other. Okay, so I'm going to call them out and then we'll chat about it in a moment. Also, if you're interested in a free online class, please click the link below. Thanks. All right, you two, when you're ready, come on out.
Brandon, can you come to the door, please? You're upset.
Oh, no, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Calm down. Calm down, please.
It's so frustrating.
This is frustrating. That's understandable. I feel really bad. I'm sorry. I feel like I was a burden. You didn't like that?
Not a burden. I appreciate it.
Okay, get on. Get on. You're upset. I'm sorry. That was obvious. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Zamani. I appreciate concern. I
feel like I'm out of place.
Can you please leave? Please?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just need you to leave.
Okay, great. Awesome. So let's talk about it. Okay, so this was another good relationship. What they set up is that they are coworkers that have become friends. So they're not best friends. They haven't been friends forever. They've known each other probably about a year, and they're coworkers. But now they've slowly, the past couple months, become pretty good friends, hanging, outside of work a bit. Nothing sexual in any way, just friends. From there, Brandon had a really great job there. He absolutely loved his job, but he just got fired for something that he believes is not his fault. So Zamani was going to talk to their boss to try to, explain to them exactly what happened, because she sort of was aware of everything that went on. And she was hoping to come bring him great news that, hey, guess what? You're going to have another chance at your job. Maybe another interview, to meet with your boss and kind of explain yourself, things like that. But he had no idea what her news was going to be, whether she was going to be happy or sad. So clearly she's revealing or bringing the news to him as to, no, he's not accepting it. You're definitely fired. Now, what was great about this was that Brandon came in, he was angry, he was frustrated with, the circumstances. That was his point of view. He had a strong point of view. When he saw her, he instantly felt that, that sort of defeat, the frustration, the heartbroken. And you could feel and see him get emotionally upset and changed off of the given imaginary circumstances. Now, in my opinion, those are some of the hardest things to do. We come in with one emotion, but because of the belief in the imaginary circumstance, it changes us. And she changed him. So, it was kind of neat because he was so angry and then he became sad. And then when he saw her, he allowed her to comfort him and feel a little bit better. Now, when she felt uncomfortable at the doorway after he walked away, he understood that it wasn't her fault. And he wasn't, like, oh, you're annoying, but, and yelling at her. He was just, I'm frustrated. And you could tell he didn't have to say it's not your fault, but his behavior said that. And remember, that's what we're talking about. He doesn't have to say, Zamani, I know it wasn't your fault. You tried. I appreciate you. I could tell in his behavior that he did appreciate the fact that she tried. And this is where we're really trying to work towards, guys, is not having to rely on the dialogue, but have that behavior. To me, when I saw this, I knew instantly that, he was frustrated with the situation, but he wasn't frustrated with her. He appreciated her. And that was pretty clear. And these are little specifics that seem like they're easy and is like, oh, that's a given, that should be, but it's not. When we're acting, we don't think about all these, and we have to. It's so important to understand everything about the situation that we've set ourselves up for, because really in real life we know exactly. We wouldn't hate Zamani. She's just the messenger. We should have a point of view about the circumstances, which he did, and then let her take you somewhere, which they did. And you can understand and feel who they were to each other. They were good friends, and they did care about each other deeply, and you could tell. So this is another great example of a relationship. From there, once I see that they have this behavior, I would say let's go into the dialogue. Great job, both of you. Thank you. And from there, if you're interested in a free online class, we do online Meisner. It's a lot of fun. Click the link below and have a great day. Thanks, guys.